Welcome to the 9th annual Halloween special, the best time of year, my favorite time of year, my favorite kinds of videos to make. I wish I could do this all year, to be completely honest. I could just do videos like this all year in this background. This month is going to be really fun. We're going to talk about a lot of great stuff. Last year, I talked about Blade, the incredible first really successful Marvel movie led by Wesley Snipes. So this year, it only makes sense to talk about Blade 2, directed by Guillermo del Toro. His first comic book movie, he would later make Hellboy 1 and 2, which could also easily be talked about in this segment. Blade is a daywalker. He's a vampire, but he has none of their weaknesses except for the thirst, which he treats with an injection. At the start of this movie, we learn that Whistler, played by Chris Christopherson, was taken by the vampires and turned, and that he's not in fact dead like we thought the first time. It's a little bit of a retcon, but they have a somewhat compelling reason for why they chose to keep him around. But we soon learn that there's a new threat on the streets, a hybrid vampire of sorts, who's actually hunting other vampires, and who has the ability to generate reapers. His victims turn into these incredibly bloodthirsty monsters that are far more superior to vampires. And if they don't do anything about it, this new line of bloodthirsty killing machines are going to take over the entire planet. So Blade reluctantly teams up with vampires to hunt these things, which is a really fun plot. Blade 2 is fucking awesome. It's almost as good as the first one for me, and in some ways it does a lot of things better. The first film is just a little bit more stylish, the action is helmed slightly better. Del Toro uses one too many cuts that I probably wouldn't if I were directing this movie, but his vision and his beauty for his characters and the production design, the costumes, and how he sees this world far outweighs any of those random little nitpicks I might have. Blade 2 is just a blast from start to finish, and it's also really fucking bloody. This is a gory movie. People are killed and it's fucking bloody. Autopsies are performed and it's fucking bloody. Blade 2 is what a vampire movie should be, and Wesley Snipes as Blade is fucking iconic. He's perfect as this character, as I said last year. It's perfect casting, and it's very tough for me to imagine someone else being Blade. As I said last year, I love Mahershala Ali, and he's a 2-time Academy Award winner. But he's not Wesley Snipes, man! I don't know, it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna have to really detach from that, and we'll see. We'll see how they do.
You obviously do not know who you are fucking with!
Every little thing that Wesley Snipes does as Blade in this movie works. When he almost crashes into his car with a motorcycle, realizes he doesn't, and then blows it a kiss. Or when he's just been through one of the hardest battles of his life and he just kind of shakes it off. This film also has some interesting casting choices. Norman Reedus shows up, who's very well known now for The Walking Dead, but he plays sort of the replacement Whistler, a guy called Scud, who's been helping Blade with gear and weapons in Whistler's absence. And one of the best parts of this movie, the great Ron Perlman shows up, who obviously made a good impression on Del Toro because he hired him to play Hellboy for 2 films. And there should have been a third. That's all I'm going to say about that shit. The idea that Blade has to team up with vampires is genius, but it's even better that he has to team up with vampires that were trained to kill him. So they immediately hate him. For 2 years, these guys were trained to kill Blade, and now they have to take orders from him. That's really good writing. David S. Goyer did a really good job on this film. It's also one of the first times I remember seeing Donnie Yen in an American movie. So it was pretty cool to see him, even though clearly they didn't quite know that they had Donnie Yen yet. He got like one moment. And I also get you don't want to outshine Blade, but like, imagine for a second a world where Donnie Yen fights Wesley Snipes in Blade 2. Don't you wish that world existed? But Blade pulls the ultimate power move on Ron Perlman by installing a bomb on the back of his head. Could you be any more badass than that? Like, I put a bomb on you, so just don't fuck with me, because I'll detonate you. And there are some incredibly gnarly kills and deaths and wounds in this movie. As already stated, it's a very gory film, but there's one in particular where one of the Reapers is stabbed through with a sword, and he gets out of it by crawling upwards, letting it just slice through his crotch. Also, I have to respect any rated R comic book film where a bunch of people are decapitated and disemboweled that also features the Powerpuff Girls quite often. There's like 4 scenes with the Powerpuff Girls. That's cool. I like the Powerpuff Girls. I used to watch it all the time. It was a fun show. That's all I was just going to say something about the Powerpuff Girls, so I did. One thing that's definitely better about Blade 2 is the villain. The villain here is very understandable. You kind of know exactly what he wants, why he wants it. You understand why he's upset, and the motivation all works. And he's also a pretty good challenger for Blade. In the first film, Blade is just kind of awesome the whole time. In this final fight, Blade has a tough time. He kind of gets his ass kicked a little bit, and it's not as easy. So that's cool. It's cool that Blade is more challenged. You see some vulnerability. And I also like what they do with Whistler because he's with the vampires at the beginning of the movie. And so there's this doubt for a while. Will he turn? Will he not turn? Snipes just puts him in the locked room all night and is like, the blinds are going to open in the morning, whether you're cured or not. Bye. Great shit. And when he is cured, you're sort of on the fence with him. They give you a lot of doubt about what his motivations are. You're not entirely sure, like, what exactly happened to him while he was gone with the vampires. Did they recruit him? Is he just kind of playing Blade? It's a really interesting idea to make Blade's father figure be a potential threat throughout the entire film. Look, Blade 2 is just great. It's a great comic book movie, and there's no doubt in my mind why Del Toro went on to direct Hellboy 1 and 2, which are also very good. And he should have made Hellboy 3. Okay, that's the last time I'll say it. I promise. Maybe. If it's been a minute since you've seen Blade 2, check it out this Halloween season. It's such a gory, fucking fun movie with great fight scenes, a great performance by Snipes, Donnie Yen, Ron Perlman. It's awesome. I hope you guys check it out this Halloween. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. I'm going to have so many videos this month. I have so many fun things to talk about. I cannot wait. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.